should this go? Maybe here on top all the way. Keep it here. I don't know. Or maybe by the side. Or should we just try some other thing? Hi! You caught me trying to hang this beautiful picture on the wall. How do you do? Thank you so much for joining me back on my vlog, Both Petals vlog. It was a busy week for me and it's going to be busier next week. But how was yours? I hope it was fine. So have you been wondering, maybe you want to move to a new apartment or a house, or you're moving to Canada or even a new country and you don't really know where to start from, like you don't even know anyone in Canada, right? Don't worry, I think I have something for you today, and just stick around, join me. But first of all, I think I need to put this somewhere, right? Okay, let's see. So, back to what we were talking about. But meanwhile, if you're a new visitor, thank you so much for joining us today. Do click the subscribe button. And if you're a returning visitor, I do appreciate you. Don't ever forget to like, share, and comment. I look forward to those comments, Now, I understand how difficult it is and how stressful it can be to look for an accommodation, especially when you have a timeline or even when you've never been to a country before and you need to stay somewhere as soon as possible or when you land. Trust me, you don't want to stay in the cold. So I am here to dish out some tips or some steps on how to go about that. So just stay tuned and let's jump right into it. So today I'm going to give you 10 steps on how to go about renting a house or apartment, whether you are in that country or you're not. These steps will guide you on how to go about your planning and every other vision you have to have in place. So maybe you're working with a deadline and you need to be there as soon as you land, or you need to get that house as soon as possible. So the first step would be size. Size is extremely important. In fact, it will help you have a better perspective of where you're going and what needs to be done. So size has to do with size of family. Is it only just you moving, or you're moving with your whole family? How many kids do you have, or is it just you and your common law partner or your wife? So this will help you determine the size of maybe the space of house you need, of the house you need, and maybe how many rooms there should be. Because if you're moving in with your family and you have kids, you need space for the kids to play around in indoor when it's maybe winter, because summer or spring the kids can play outside, right? Then if it's you and your wife and maybe you work from home or one of you work from home, that means that you need a space whereby you can station your work desk, right? Or it's just you. Some also would want to share an apartment with others. So size is a very important determining factor to you getting that accommodation that you need. Now, the second thing you would need to put into consideration is your budget, finance, savings. It's very, very important in the sense that you wouldn't want to struggle paying rent anywhere. So when you determine how much you can cough out each month to pay your rent, then it would help you to make other choices down the road. Now, when you talk about budget, you'd have to put some things into consideration. You have to consider your inflow and also other spendings you have in the month. Will I say other expenses you have to put in for the month. For example, you need to sit down and calculate how much do I get in the month, then how much do I get to spend in that month. Maybe your insurance and also fueling your vehicle or getting a bus pass, and as well as feeding. So you see why the first step to that is to these steps is family size. Then we now talk about budgeting, because you wouldn't want to pay much more than necessary each month. So when you consider, oh, how much do I need to pay for my rent, or how much can I comfortably set aside each month to pay rent, then how much also do I have remaining to go for my groceries or move around town in my vehicle or on the bus. And also you have other miscellaneous things, for example, and even at times you have unplanned expenses awaiting you in that month. So you don't want a situation whereby you run out of money, right? So it is very important that you put your budget into consideration whenever you want to go house hunting, or whenever you want to start want to move to another place, because this is how will I put it, this is something you do monthly, and maybe you sign a contract that, oh, I have to stay here for 6 months or for a year or for 4 months, and you need to be sure that for that period you are comfortable paying any rent you decide to go for. So yeah, let's move to the third step. The third step here is quite interesting, because most of the times we don't consider that. We consider, oh, I like the place. Oh, it's a fine house. Oh, I can't wait to move into it because I'm tired of looking for a place. Location. Location is something we don't normally consider. Now, for example, in every place you have the eastern part, you have the western part, you have the southern part, you have the northern part. And some of these places you have to travel some kilometers away, and you need to look for somewhere central where you have to consider proximity. When I say proximity, I mean nearness to maybe your place of worship, nearness to the bus station, nearness to your workplace, nearness to malls, nearness to schools, nearness to facilities. So I'm going to look at this one after the other. Let's forget the fact that, oh, this is somewhere everyone is rushing to. But do you have a bus station in that area? Is it a new area in such a way that before you get a bus, or before even the next bus arrives, it's 15 minutes? Consider the fact that maybe it's winter. How are you going to manage, or how are you going to survive it? So it's quite difficult. So you need to consider the location of where you want to move to. Where is it in particular? Is it close to a bus station that you just come out of your house and you enter the next bus? Or you don't need to walk miles away before you get a bus station, so that it wouldn't be difficult for you or your wife or even your kids to go to school. And maybe you are just landing, you've not gotten a car, you have to rely on the public transit. How are you going to do it? So you have to have that at the back of your mind. Then another important thing is nearness to your workplace. So consider the fact that your workplace is in the south and you move to the west. Even if you're driving, it's stressful. So you have to consider your mental health and also work-life balance. Now, if you have to move to a place close to your workplace. Some people even walk to their workplace. So why don't you want to try that out? Some people by bus to their workplace is just 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Some people drive just 3 minutes, 5 minutes to their workplace. So if you get such a deal, consider yourself lucky. Then, if you are the type that loves to gym, swim, do sports and all that, you may also want to see if you can get somewhere close to those facilities or amenities. It will help. Then, nearness to schools. Now, some kids just ride to school on their bikes and they don't even need to take the school bus, or they just walk to school. They don't even need you to take them to school. And also, some parents would have to drive their kids to school because it's far off, or they would have to walk 5 minutes, 10 minutes to the bus station where the bus will come pick them up. So you need to consider that. Then another important factor is nearness to malls. You want to shop, you have to survive, right? You have to eat and get some stuffs for the house. So nearness to malls. Some people are so lucky that they live close to malls. So yeah, you have to consider location and proximity whenever you are on house hunting. I don't want to say house hunting. Next on your list would be your search itineraries. When I mean your search itineraries, I am trying to imply where you should go and search. So globally, we have Facebook Marketplace, we have Kijiji. I know we would have others which I would provide on the description. You can always click on the description below so that you would look at other places you would be able to sort out your rental needs. So for Facebook Marketplace, you can go there, you register based on your location, and you can search when you are your request is approved. Then you can go about to search for whatever you need for. We'll try as much as possible to do a demonstration of that for you. And also on Kijiji too, you can go and click on rentals, and then you fill in if it's a 1 bedroom, a 2 bedroom. It will bring that out for you based on the location you've chosen. To show you two things. One, how to search for a house on Facebook Marketplace and also on Kijiji. Then also I'm going to show you how you'll be able to find or search out the locality. That is, you'll be able to view maybe the street or even that particular house on your Facebook or your Kijiji or even on your Google Map. Okay, so stay tuned. So assuming this is your Facebook page, you can search or you can go to your Facebook Marketplace. Let's say you've already registered and it's been approved. Either you click on the search button and click on type out Facebook Marketplace, or you just click the marketplace icon down below like this and it takes you to Facebook Marketplace. Then I believe this should be my most recent searches here, and let's start here by clicking on the search button. So let's say I'm looking for a 2 bedroom apartment. So I just type that out, and even if as you're typing it brings up suggestions for you. So let's see, 2 bedroom apartment, and even you can even search the one near you. It depends on whatever you want. So let's see. So take this for instance, and if this is the one I like, that is the one that goes for $1,145, I can click it, and then I scroll down to see the suggestions or the description written, and even the person who is also leasing out this apartment. Now let's look at viewing this
place on the map. So you just click on get directions, open in Google Maps, then it would ask you for permission, and if you want to go ahead to allow that, it would give you directions to the place. Then when you scroll down a little bit, you see street view and 360 degrees. You just click on that and that would come up. You see you are able to view the street. You see, and you can just navigate left, right and center. The map shows you the different directions you can go. You can go backwards, forward, sideways, to see the different buildings around or the environment, and see if you like it, and if you do and this meets your it, what you see meets your requirement, you can go ahead to book a viewing, or you can take it a step further by asking someone to visit the place and make some inquiries for you. Hope this helps you. Going on to Kijiji, you'd like to make sure that you type Kijiji on Google. Most times it will pop up suggestions for you as I've highlighted, but usually I use Kijiji on based on where I stay. I go ahead to search, and let's see what comes up here. I think okay. You like to click here, takes you to Kijiji site. You would like to, or you would click on related. It asks you for options where you would want to go for rent, sale. You click on rent, could be long term, short term, room rentals and roommates. Click on long term rentals and wait for it to pop up and see what comes up. So let's say that we want to select any of these options. Let's go for first one here. So it gives you the information about this house. Then you would like to, maybe when you go through what is obtainable here, you can go ahead to click on view map. Then you click on view on Google Map. Open your Google Map. Now, just like we have on Facebook Marketplace, it would give you a 360-degree image, and which you can see here with the sign on the Google Map, or you can even scroll down. You can still see it down there. So we want to click on that, and it shows you the area, the street. You can take the left turn, the right turn, and when you've seen this, if you want to move further, you can now give the person who posted this a call.
So by now, you must have watched my video on how to search for an accommodation online, and also how to view a house online or a location online. But I want to bring something to your attention. Whenever you must have come across a house that you love or you want to go for, please try as much as possible to go on Google and have a take on their reviews. For example, reviewing the location, or even reviewing that house in particular. And thank goodness for technology. These days, you have news online about a particular place or an event that occurred during one time or the other. You don't want to get an accommodation where you have, where maybe a riot prone area, or some places that have issues with security. You have police coming around the neighborhood all the time, or other events that you wouldn't want to witness, or you don't want your kids to witness, or even endanger your life, property, or even that of your family. So whenever you know you found that accommodation online, try as much as possible to go on Google and search for reviews about that area or about that particular house and see if anything would come up. Even you can ask one or two people if they know that place in particular and see what they say about that particular place, so that you can be able to make a good choice or the best choice, so that just like I mentioned, once you sign that contract, there is no going back. So you don't want to do something that you regret, right? So let's move on to other steps. Yeah, I don't know. I always like to save the best for last. So, but meanwhile, before we move to the next step, I would like to once again welcome you back here. Or if you're a returning visitor, thank you so much. And also, if you're joining us for the first time, I do appreciate you. Kindly subscribe or hit the subscribe button. So we're talking about 10 steps on how to get that accommodation, whether you're in that country or you're out. So we've looked at the fact that it's important that you consider budgeting, size of your family, location, proximity, and also how to go about searching for that house. We don't have to be this section doesn't have to be all talk and no practical. So I did a demonstration on how to search for a house online, and even how to view that particular location while you are not even in that location. Then let's move to the fact that your network is your net worth. Yeah, I believe so much in network. So now consider the fact that you have never visited a particular vicinity before, or you've never visited a particular country before, and you want to get an accommodation. You don't know anybody. I believe that there are groups. You have Facebook Marketplace, you have WhatsApp group, you have Telegram groups, and also you know people who know people too, right? So when you want to travel and you don't live there, and you are still back in your home country, try to make inquiries. Try to ask questions on that WhatsApp group you are on that Telegram group. Or even if you're not on any group, try to go on Facebook Marketplace. You have Nigerians living in Canada on Facebook Marketplace, Nigerians living in Canada, even on Twitter. So you can as well reach out and ask questions and tell someone, oh, or even ask on the group, I am moving to this country at this time and I need an accommodation. You see that even people building their own houses are on that group. People who are realtors, agents are even on that group, and people who are also like you on that group. So you can as well reach out, and I'm sure someone would reach out to you or even DM you with a message. Or even, I know that a particular group I belong to on Telegram, they have list of where you can even go and look for houses even when you don't stay there. So for instance, when you are able to search out or look up a house online, and since you're not there, you want someone to go check it out for you, you can as well reach out on that group and say, oh, I have something in mind, can someone please help me check out this house that is here or there? Certainly someone would help you with that. It's not a biggie. I know people are busy here, but someone would always make out time for someone who is not yet in the country, right? So your network is your net worth. Make use of it. Try as much as possible to reach out to people, to reach out to friends, even strangers, on what you need on groups. And also friends, ask around, tell a friend, oh, I want to move here, do you know anyone that lives there? So I believe that you can't even survive, you're not an island, so you can't even survive on your own. So that's one of the ways, or the best ways you can search out accommodation when you don't live there. Because for example, you see something on Facebook Marketplace or on Kijiji, and you have this trust, I don't even know this person, how will I be able to pay, and I've not even seen the house and all that. So someone is there who is willing to help you, so give it a shot now. So I know by now you are ready to go for house hunting or to stay anywhere you are and go on the internet to look for that dream house of yours. But before you go for that viewing, I would like to leave you with some important tips or facts. And in my home country, we say stay woke. That means be at alert. Please know that even as real house owners are posting, fraudsters are posting too. So you need to be extra careful. You don't want to pay some huge amount of money in vain, right? So please, now you need to know that whenever someone asks you to maybe pay cash or pay before you sign a lease agreement, don't ever agree to such. You must see the lease agreement, read through it, and read carefully through it. Even if it's possible, have someone read it for you too, or read it on your behalf to check extras before you sign. And make sure you are comfortable with all the terms and conditions listed out. Secondly, you need to consider the fact that you may need to go for viewing. Kindly go with someone, one, for safety. Also, two, there are some things you may not see or you can't point out, and your friend who is there with you would be able to point that out for you. Never be in a rush to sign an agreement or go into any contract with any landlord or landowner, because that you know that it is a 6 months or 1 year term and you have to abide by that. So you need to be as careful as possible. And whenever you are being asked to part with some of your personal information, just like your credit card information or your uh, insurance number, or questions you know that are personal to you or linked to your security number, never part with those information. And also when someone is asking you such for such, you have to, that is a red flag. Yeah, someone can ask you if you work or if you are comfortable having your employer sign a reference or for you. Those are legal, or those are like they are trying to find out if you will be able to pay this rent or if you can be trusted with their property. That's just what most of the landlords are trying to find out when they ask you such for such, or ask you for to get references or referees on your behalf. So please, whenever you are going out to search for house, you need to have these tips at the back of your mind, because they would come in handy in the long run. So I would like to appreciate you for staying with us till now, and I hope I'm able to provide you with some important facts or information based on finding a house, whether you are in Canada or out of Canada, or maybe you are moving to a new place. And if you find this information important or useful, you can as well follow us, I mean subscribe, share, like, or comment. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Do have yourself a lovely week and a warm weekend. Bye.